So I went ahead and I deposited $1,000 into a trading account. Now I want to go ahead and I want to show you guys the exact trades I took to take this account from $1,000 to $1,400 in just 2 trading days. All right, so here we are. You guys can see $1,000 account. We're at a 430 profit. Trade expectancy, we're looking to make around $33 per trade. We have a profit factor of 2.81, which is very good. Because this is very good because anything over a 1.0 means you're profitable with that strategy. We have a 62% win rate, which could be improved on, and an average win to loss trade, we have a 1.75. I'm looking to get that towards 2. Remember, we're only on the second day, so these analytics are going to change as we trade more. So first thing I want to do is go into the trades I took Friday. You guys can see I took 5 total trades, which is a lot more than I usually take, and this I think is coming down from me going from a bigger account to a smaller account, just not being able to really be content with those smaller dollar amounts, like a $26 trade, $50 trade, $40 trade, and me looking for more constantly. Because in all reality, I should have been done trading after the second trade. But going into the actual trades, over here you guys can see how I personally journal my trades. We had a 15-minute sweep of liquidity, inverse fair value gap. The candle had closed, but since I was actually setting up my trade evade, I wasn't able to get in at the time that I wanted, so I chased on this candle. And you can see, good setup, didn't wait for news, didn't have much of a plan, went into it with the inverse fair value gap setup, but I had a skewed risk to reward because it was the 15-minute time frame and I was trading MNQ instead of MES because that's just what I'm used to. And it was a ballsy play going into it before market open. Didn't fit my macro sequence, so it wasn't worth it. I was planning on entering at the 15-minute inverse fair value gap close, but I had broker issues, so I entered afterwards trying to chase the move, which ultimately led to me selling when I was in profit. I was up a little bit higher, but I sold in profit. So just going more into this trade, you know, going here, you could see my executions. This trade lasted a full 4 minutes, right? There wasn't anything crazy done about this trade. I want to go into the running P&L. You guys can see I was up around $42 on this trade 2 minutes into the trade, and honestly, I was expecting us to continue to at least this high all the way up here, and you can see we just came in, tapped in some probably higher time frame PDA rate and rejected very harshly. So because I was able to have my stop in profit, even though it was a ballsy trade, I did get out at a good time. So for that, I ranked the trade 2 out of 5 stars, which is still shit, but that's just how it was. The second trade, however, was a lot better, and I actually marked out all these setups for you guys, so for this specific video, because I want to be making these videos every single day. Right here you guys can see we had a sweep of liquidity, then a 5-minute inverse fair value gap. So I'm going to go on to the 5-minute. We had a sweep of lows, inverse fair value gap. I bought on the retest of the inverse fair value gap, and I was targeting this 5-minute order block. Risk to reward, my risk was right under the bottom of this green candle right here. I was targeting here. I had a really good risk to reward setup, almost a 3-to-1. It was a 2.61 R, and entry was perfect, but for the exit, I sold when this candle was all the way down here in the red. I didn't sell up here like this is showing. My overall goal was to hold for the 50% retracement of the order block, but once we started pulling back, because it's a smaller account, I started to panic because I didn't want to blow up the account while everyone's watching me trade this 1K account, which is another stressful thing I have to deal with. But that's just a challenge I took on, and over here I sold at this low. So my exit was not good. I would like to say I held for the 50% retracement. I could literally lie to you guys here in this video and be like I held to here, but I literally sold the bottom of this candle, and it eventually went to my price target. So that was one of my mistakes. And here you can see I could go into here and I can write it was not in my plan, and then I can also say what setup this was. So that's the cool part about TradeZella, is because I've made these mistakes before. I made tags about them. I can go back, write the tags, and then go see which mistakes I'm making most often, so that I know to hyper focus in those areas and prevent those things from happening. Because it was a good risk to reward and because I had a really good entry, I gave myself 2.5 stars on this one. I didn't give myself the full 3 just because that exit was very amateur getting out here, especially when we were still in decent profits. Just not a good overall trade. These next two trades, these were completely stupid. I was up like $70 on the day, trying to be up 100 because 70 didn't feel like enough, because I'm used to making $1,000 in a day, not $70. And I took two stupid trades just for no reason. I got out early. It could have ended bad, but then this last one, I bought, sold on the red candle, made $40 after losing 25. So realistically, these last three trades were just complete boredom trades. So I'm gonna go here and I'm gonna write that I was bored. There is no volume. This was not in my plan. I over traded, and this was a revenge trade. So you can see I literally ran it through the garden in that specific trade. I had 5 mistakes that I usually make, and I had them all in one trade. So that's something I went really hyper focused into this week, was not taking trades out of boredom, only taking trades in my plan, not trying to over trade, and no revenge trading, and don't trade when there's no volume. So going into today, we had an amazing day. We made $339. You guys can see all my trades. You're probably like, Shinobi, you over traded, right? And the answer is yes, I did over trade, but the setups were hitting every single time I was executing. I had a clear mind. I had my risk reward properly figured out, especially now that I was trading MES today. So overall, yes, I did a revenge trade, but I didn't revenge trade, or I did over trade, but I didn't revenge trade. I didn't take setups that weren't in my plan. I didn't take setups that there was no setup. So overall, I kind of just want to show you guys the setups that I took over here. Very, very simple trade. I was mainly looking for this inverse fair value gap right off open. You can see we had swept this low, market swept. We had an inverse fair value gap. I added on the retest, and then I sold once we got higher, right? I sold at a previous swing high, which if I scroll way back, you guys will see there was a previous swing high where we trimmed here. And then the only reason we even got this sell is because we were just trading with such momentum, and seeing that type of momentum come after 10 o'clock usually is kind of sketchy to me. And I just like selling into momentum, because that just lets me know that, hey, there's buyers. I might not catch the top. It might continue having momentum, but usually you guys will notice in the markets when there's a sharp momentum move, usually we're very quick to see a wick just because of the amount of people chasing. So I didn't want to be the person who's just holding this for whatever. Plus, we were in an hourly fair value gap, and I just sold into there. So overall, this trade, I would give myself 2.5 stars. The main reason why is because I did not have a good exit. So yes, it wasn't in my plan, but exit was not the best because I didn't plan it properly, right? And being so blinded by the longs led me to miss out on this entire move short. We were at the hourly fair value gap. I was planning to take shorts there, but I got impatient, went and I looked for a setup and found on the 1 minute. I got lucky on this trade. Second trade, we made $90 on. We had caught the reversal. So you guys will see I literally missed out on the entire move down. But on the 5 minute, what we had was a classic sweep of liquidity, inverse fair value gap. I added and then sold into momentum, and you guys can see I sold very early. Same thing as the last trade. This $52 loss, I was looking to play a move higher. This was not in my plan. Honestly, this was just me trying to chase the momentum. There was really no plan. And honestly, this is one trade I'm super disappointed about, because I should not be taking these trades, but I still do, just because the dollar amount for this 1K account just hasn't really like settled in with me to where it's like, okay, like there's real consequences if I lose money. Like if I lose like I'm usually used to being up and down $500-600 in a trade. So just, you guys have to understand, my mentality going into this challenge isn't very easy, because I'm trying to make $500-600 how I normally do, but I'm seeing $50, $30, $40. So that 100, I was up $150, $160 on the day, but that just in my brain just didn't register as enough, and I got greedy and I started to trade more. And that's, in God's honest truth, the only reason I was taking so many trades. Same thing here. I took a small trade. It started working in my favor. Got scared in drawdown. Not an overall good trade. This one here, same thing. Now that we started reversing, I started chasing. I was like, okay, whatever. Like, the market's going to move higher. I'm not proud of this one at all. This is probably my worst trade of the day, mainly because I wasn't at my setup. I was driving. I saw that we were reversing. I saw a small inverse on the 1 minute, and I thought I could catch a move higher because the market was showing showing that we were going to continue higher, but obviously it didn't. Then over here, afterwards, I got back home, saw the inverse setup, saw us break structure, retest this fair value gap here, and I was able to catch this move down. Obviously, it continued lower, but we were at a 5-minute or 15-minute fair value gap, so I took my profits, and we made $243 on that one. Next trade, we took a small loss. We were trying to catch the move higher off this inverse fair value gap. We pulled back. I sold early just because I panicked, because I was like, yo, I'm up so much on the day. This trade, like, I didn't follow my plan because I just didn't want that profit number that I was at to go lower. But I quickly realized that, yo, I'm not following my plan. My plan is to long here. My setup says to long here. I should long here. And that's what I did. And I was able to catch this move higher. Now, for those of you guys who might watch this and be like, hey, you didn't go into too much depth into your trades today, what I'm going to be doing is journaling on my own, then going more into depth in the next video of the trades that I took and the setups that were there, showing the trades I took the next day, and then so on and so forth. But if you guys want to see all my trades, because I called all these trades publicly today, all you have to do is click the second link in the description. It's going to give you access to my free Telegram where I call all of these plays for completely free, just because I want to have a track record built. And we have around 50,000 people inside of the Telegram. And I just want to build my public track record, show myself turning 1,000 to 10,000. I've done it twice or 3 times already this year. So I want to make sure that I do it with futures as well. Just kind of build my credibility and show you guys that I actually trade and I actually do this. The first link in the bio is going to be a 20% off link for TradeZella. Guys, TradeZella has changed the game. It's literally changed my trading and made me such a better trader. So when people always ask me, they're like, how do you become a profitable trader? I literally tell them, I'm like, don't buy Discords. Buy TradeZella, upload your trades, go through the back testing, go through the trade replays, literally do whatever you need to do. And for the people in my mentorship, the people that I help, I have them here in mentor mode. I'm not going to click on it and give away their personal information, but I personally go into their TradeZellas and review their trades alongside them. So click the first link for 20% off TradeZella. And if you guys enjoyed this series and you want me to turn this into a series, like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll see you guys in the next one.